Chicago Sky moved both of their home games against the Indiana Fever this year to the United Center. Now, the United Center is the largest stadium in the NBA with almost 21,000 seats, which is more than double where the Sky normally play at Wintrust Arena.
Angel Reese fans were talking big until reality hit like a full-court press. Caitlin Clark's first WNBA game against Angel Reese's Chicago Sky sold out in just 1 minute, faster than a fast break. So, was all that trash talk just for clicks? Did Angel Reese's fans fumble the bag? Or is this the ultimate revenge game in the making? Buckle up, because this rivalry is getting juicier than courtside drama with a mic'd-up ref.
But this game being in the United Center, if you guys did not see, tickets sold out. And tickets sold out in 5 minutes. They sold out in 5 minutes. United Center sold out in a minute. Sorry, not in a minute, 5 minutes. A minute. It was a fight even trying to get tickets. Seats kept disappearing. They started $200. Back in 2007, you get season tickets for that price. You can go get season tickets probably a year ago for that price in some teams.
Yes, the Chicago Sky, a whole professional basketball team, just casually packing up their home court to make way for an Indiana Fever fan invasion. Because nothing says home court advantage like willingly handing it over to the opponent's supporters. But don't worry, it's totally because of Angel Reese at least. That's what her diehard fans want you to believe. The way they're giving her credit, you'd think she personally signed the lease, built the seats, and installed the hoop herself.
It took just 60 seconds, 1 minute, the time it takes to tie a shoelace, pour a cup of coffee, or check a text. That's all the time the Chicago Sky needed to sell out 20,000 tickets for their highly anticipated matchup against the Indiana Fever. And let's not kid ourselves. The reason is as clear as day. Caitlin Clark. From Iowa to Indiana and now to the biggest basketball cities across the country, the Caitlin Clark effect is more than just a catchy phrase. It's a movement.
The Sky, seeing the inevitable tidal wave of Fever fans crashing in, decided, asterisk, you know what? Let's just move. Asterisk, and in just 60 little seconds, asterisk, poof, asterisk, tickets were completely gone. The scalpers? Probably out here living their best lives. Meanwhile, Chicago fans? Oh, they'll be sprinkled in somewhere, lost in a sea of Fever jerseys, desperately trying to remember what their own team's logo even looks like.
Basically, the Sky Fever tickets went on sale at 11 a.m. today for the United Center. This is the game that was changed into the 23,000 people arena, which I think is only 21,500 for games and 23,000 for concerts. But it sold out like that. However,
let's be real. There's only one reason this madness is happening, and it has nothing to do with Angel Reese. No, the real reason is the one actually moving the needle in women's basketball right now, the rookie with the golden touch, Caitlin Clark. But of course, the narrative must be spun. The Angel Reese effect. She's the reason the stadium is packed, as if people weren't literally watching the ticket site like a sneaker drop just to get a glimpse of Caitlin.
5 games against Chicago. That's a huge thing. This league has decided, hey, we know what we have here in this matchup. We know people will watch. And quite frankly, I'm ready to see the Indian Fever walk the dog some more with the Chicago Sky.
But don't take my word for it. Just wait until opening day. That's when the Real show begins. The Chicago Sky players are about to experience what it feels like to play an away game in their own city. Their stadium will be packed, but not with Sky fans. Instead, a sea of Indiana Fever supporters will flood the arena, not to cheer for the home team, but for one reason, and one reason only. Meanwhile, Angel Reese fans will be squinting, desperately trying to find a way to make this about her. Maybe they'll claim she's inspiring the Fever fans. Maybe they'll argue she secretly owns the stadium. Who knows? The mental gymnastics will be Olympic level. Now, let's be clear, there are Chicago Sky fans out there. But as anyone paying attention can see, not every Sky game will sell out this season. Even in their 10,000-seat arena, most games will have empty seats. Meanwhile, the Fever will sell out every game immediately, even in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, which is significantly bigger. And let's not forget the actual Sky players in all of this. Imagine grinding through the preseason, gearing up for a strong home opener, only to realize you'll be fighting for scraps of support in your own building. The PA announcer might as well introduce them as, "and now the visitors," before tip-off. It's going to be a long night for them, and an even longer season, if this is any indication of how things will go. So go ahead, let's keep pretending this is about Angel Reese. Let's keep ignoring the obvious reason why people are emptying their wallets at record speed. Because when that stadium is 80% Fever fans on opening night, the excuses will be just as entertaining as the game itself. Can't wait to hear them. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't just a marketing term, it's a full-blown economic stimulus package. Tickets vanish in minutes. Arenas suddenly discover they have extra seating capacity. And team owners who once scoffed at the hype are now rolling out the red carpet. But this isn't just about the Chicago Sky cashing in. Even the Atlanta Dream, the same team whose owner had less than glowing things to say about Fever fans, suddenly discovered the magic of supply and demand. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we choose to deceive. Yes, the Atlanta Dream, the very team whose co-owner threw shade at Caitlin Clark's fans, suddenly realized they could make more money by upgrading to a bigger stadium. Funny how that works. One minute, they're dismissing the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. The next, they're scrambling to profit from it. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky, who at this point should just rename themselves the Caitlin Clark Stock Exchange, are leading the charge and profiting off the phenomenon. They're selling out faster than a celebrity apology after a bad tweet. And let's be honest, they need it. When your entire brand revolves around, "We're not Indiana, but please come watch us play Indiana," you take what you can get. There's no doubt this game is going to sell out. It's the hot ticket of the season. And incidentally, it's going to set the record for the largest crowd of the WNBA season. Then there's the ongoing subplot starring a certain individual who just can't stand that all this attention isn't revolving around her. Every single time Caitlin Clark dominates the headlines, someone else suddenly has a lot to say about being overlooked, disrespected, or undervalued, despite getting more media coverage than any other second-round draft pick in recent memory. One would think a player so determined to prove her worth would focus on, winning games, instead of keeping a running tally of perceived slights. The real comedy here is that while teams across the league are busy moving mountains, or at least seat arrangements, to accommodate the Caitlin Clark craze, some people are still pretending it doesn't exist. The mental gymnastics required to dismiss an entire economic shift in women's basketball could qualify for an Olympic event. But hey, let's not ruin the narrative with facts, right? At this point, denying the Caitlin Clark effect is like trying to argue the sky isn't blue while standing outside on a clear day. It's happening whether people like it or not. The ticket sales, the TV ratings, the jersey purchases, it's all real. And while some players are busy side-eyeing Clark's success and making snarky comments, their own teams are quietly thanking her for the increased revenue. Before Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, the league's average attendance was 6,000. Now, in her rookie year, it's 15,740, a 157% increase. But sure, let's keep pretending the WNBA doesn't want Indiana Fever fans. That's cute, until it's time to move games to bigger arenas because, shocker, more people want to watch Caitlin Clark than whatever else was scheduled that night. The hypocrisy is unreal. One minute it's Caitlin Clark's fans are ruining the WNBA experience. The next it's, wait, why is she the only one filling seats? Somebody make it make sense. Meanwhile, over in Chicago, Angel Reese is playing in what can only be described as a witness protection program. Unrivaled, huh? Unrivaled in what? Empty seats? Ticket giveaways? The sheer ability to exist without anybody noticing? It's almost like people don't care about triple singles and off-court theatrics when they could be watching actual basketball. But sure, let's pretend this is just a media conspiracy and not the reality that Caitlin Clark is doing things nobody's seen before, while Angel Reese is just existing. Because if this league really didn't want Fever fans, they wouldn't be bending over backward to capitalize on Clark mania.